Buckle up, drop-off just got smarter. This is the Carpool Dad podcast, where coffee is strong and opinions are stronger. Let's roll.
Good morning. What's up, Carpool crew? I'm Raz, your host. Episode 51 is here. Let's ride. 2 guest episodes down, Rick and Jay, and I'm sitting here thinking, where do we go from here, right? Turns out that the answer is exactly where the show has always lived. Back in chaos, back in the car, back in my living room, playing Dollhouse like my life depends on it. This week, I brought action figures to life for Lucas, and I played Dollhouse with Lucy and lost every ounce of dignity I had left. We hunted a limited Pikachu card across different stores like it was a hostage negotiation. And my wife found a new food delivery service that got this entire family eating like flock of very confused birds. Yeah, so let's get into it, shall we? So this week we had one of those days where both kids wanted my undivided attention at exact same time. In 2 completely different universes, Lucas wanted the action figures. Full scene, full story. And when Lucas plays action figures, let me explain. It's not just moving little plastic men around. No. He needs voices. He needs sound effects. He needs a full narrative arc with a villain, a betrayal, and at least one dramatic entrance. So there I am, doing my best villain voice, crashing 2 action figures together while Lucas directs the whole production. Like he's a Steven Spielberg. He comes to me and goes, "No, Dad." He says like that, okay? "No, not like that, Dad. Not you." And I go, "Got it. Yes, sir." I've been demoted to sound effects and secondary characters in my own living room. Freaking unbelievable. Meanwhile, at the exact same time, Lucy needed me for the dollhouse. Now, I want you to understand something about playing dollhouse as a grown man. There is no villain voice. There's no dramatic entrance. There is a very specific, very calm domestic routine that must be followed exactly. And if you deviate from it, even slightly, okay, you have ruined the whole game. Trust me, I know. I picked up the wrong doll to answer the pretend phone. Wrong. Completely wrong. Lucy looked at me like I had personally embarrassed the entire family. "Dad, that's not how it goes." I don't know how it goes. Nobody gave me the script. So I'm splitting my afternoon between action figure warfare in one corner and extremely precise dollhouse equity in the other. And somewhere in the middle of all of it, I look up and I thought, I have officially lost all control of this house and I don't even care. It's my job and this is the whole job. And speaking of losing control, we're officially 2 weeks out from school starting back up. Oh man, I'm so happy. Which means it's time for the yearly tradition of trying to convince 2 children that bedtime is a real thing again. Because let's be honest, summer bedtime is suggestion at best. It's been whenever everyone's tired energy for like 2 straight weeks. And now I got walked back 10 minutes at time like we're slowly decompressing from a very long vacation from structure. Night 1 of the reset, Lucas looked at me like I had personally betrayed him. "It's still light outside, Dad." And I go, "Yes, but I understand. I'm aware. Welcome to the last 2 weeks of the summer. We're doing this now." Lucy took better, mostly because Lucy takes most things better than there's stuffed animal involved in negotiation. We're not there yet. We're getting there. 2 weeks, Carpool crew. Please pray for me. Now, real quick, before we get into more chaos, I gotta reflect for a second here. We just wrapped up 2 guest episodes. Rick, my best friend since middle school. Jay, a guy who's been in my life since 2013 and just had one of the most real conversation I had on the show yet. And after both of those, I sat there thinking, okay, where does the show go from here? Do we keep doing the guests? Do we go back just me and chaos? Or do we do both? And honestly, the answer hit me pretty quick. It's both. The guests bring a whole new energy, a whole new perspective, and honestly, some stories I never would have gotten otherwise. But this show started with me just talking to myself in the car, and that's still the heartbeat of it. So we're gonna do both, guys, okay? Solo chaos, guest conversations, whatever fits the week. That's the plan. That's always kind of been the plan. And if I'm honestly, I'm all right speaking of chaos, okay? So let's talk about the Pikachu situation. So this week, there was a limited Pikachu promo card, which I found it like at last minute. Released for like 2 days, extremely hard to find. And Lucas, my son, my Pokemon scholar, the same kid who caught a fake Pokemon on his own birthday invitation, Lucas needed this card like it was oxygen, okay? So we went hunting. We went to Target first, nothing, empty shelf. Other parents standing there with the same look in their eyes. All of us silently acknowledged we were on the same doomed mission. GameStop is next. Also nothing. The guy behind the counter didn't even let me finish the question before shaking his head. He clearly answered 40 times already that day, so I don't blame him. Best Buy? I don't even know why I thought Best Buy would have it. Desperation makes you try things that don't make sense. Nothing, obviously. Barnes and Nobles? Let's hope. Walked in with an actual optimism and nothing. Sold out before we even got there. 4 stores, 0 Pikachu cards. And through this entire odyssey, Lucas is in the car with me, watching my hope slowly die store by store. And somewhere around store 3, I realized this was actually a moment, a real one. So I sat him down for a second and I said, buddy, sometimes you want something really bad and it just doesn't go your way. And that's okay. That's not the end of the world. Sometimes you don't win and you try and it still counts. Man, and then this kid looks at me like actually nodded and said, that's okay, Dad. And I was ready just to go home. And that's when I felt terrible because he handled 4 stores of disappointment with more grace than I would have at his age. And I just couldn't let it end there. So I made an executive decision. We stopped at a local comic book store on the way home. No promise of the promo card, just a look around. And I got him some packs, regular packs, nothing rare, nothing limited, just packs. And by the way, this kid lit up over a few regular Pokemon packs after chasing a card we never found. That told me everything. It was never really about the specific card. It was about the hunt, time together, and somebody believing in him enough to keep trying. We didn't get the Pikachu. We got something better. A good day, a good lesson, and my son think I'm a hero for buying him $3 card packs. Now let's talk about my wife's newest discovery. A food delivery service called Hungry Root. This is not an ad for it, trust me. She found this thing online, got excited, signed us up, and the whole premise is healthy. Groceries, meals, delivery right to your house. Okay, great in theory, genuinely a good idea, except somewhere in the process of picking out our first order, sizes got a little optimistic. Let's just say that. Because the food showed up, and it's beautiful, it's healthy, it's very nicely packaged, and there's not enough food for a grown man who does that things all day, okay? Just listen. I'm talking bird portion here. Like, genuinely, I finish a meal, and I look at my plate and I thought, did I eat or did I just visit food briefly? My wife took her credit, was so excited about this whole thing, proud of herself, talking about how we're eating better now, how this is a real lifestyle change. Speak for yourself. Meanwhile, I'm in the kitchen at 9 p.m. quietly making toast because my body does not believe dinner actually happened. I'm not knocking the idea. It's actually healthy. It's a good direction. I understand. I actually respect the effort. I'm just saying this entire household has spent the last week eating like very sophisticated flock of birds. And somebody needs to say it out loud. And that somebody is me on a podcast where she can hear it. She's already threatened me to cut my portions for that comment. But you know what? Worth it 100%. All right, before we close this one out, I want to get real for a minute. Between the action figures, the dollhouse, and the Pikachu hunt, and the bird-sized dinners, there's a real thread running through all of it that I don't always say out loud, okay? Being a dad is exhausting in a way that's hard to explain to someone who hasn't lived it. It's not one big hard thing. It's 100 small things stacked on top of each other every single day. The voices for the action figures, the exact right doll for the exact right scene, driving to 4 stores for a card, managing bedtime reset, being present for all of it while also just trying to function as a human being. But if I'm being honest, the hardest part isn't any of that stuff. It's the part that nobody really prepares you for it. Learning how to actually connect with your kids emotionally. There are days that I know I don't do a good job on that because I grew up in a house where you didn't really talk about feelings, you dealt with it and you moved on, and that was the whole system. And now I've got a son who cries because a game didn't go his way, and a daughter who gets quiet and won't tell me why. And my first instinct for every time is to want to fix immediately, make it better, move past it. And I've had to learn, and still learning slowly, that's not actually what they need most of the time. Like the moment at the Pikachu hunt, my first instinct wasn't to sit Lucas down and talk about disappointment. My first instinct was to just buy him something to make the sad feeling go away as fast as possible. And I did that too, don't get me wrong, but the part that actually mattered was sitting in the car with him and just naming it, saying out loud that that's okay not to get what you wanted, letting him feel that for a second instead of rushing past it. That's hard for me. I don't know if it's a guy thing or how I was raised thing or just a me thing. But learning to sit in an uncomfortable feeling with my kid instead of immediately trying to fix it or distract from it, that's been one of the real quiet struggles of being a dad that nobody puts on a mug or on a Father's Day card. Some days I'm good at it. Some days I completely miss it and only realizing hours later what my kid actually needed from me at that moment. But I think that's the whole point, I hope. Nobody's handing out a manual for this. You just keep showing up, keep trying to get a little better, actually being present in the hard feelings instead of just the fun ones. That's the real stuff behind all the chaos. And I wanted to say out loud today, and thank you for listening, Carpool Crew. That's episode 51. Somewhere in the middle of all the chaos, I'm still learning how to actually show up for my kids in the moments that matter most. If this one hits home for you today, share with another parent who needs it to hear it. Find me on Instagram at Carpool Dad Podcast, at YouTube at Carpool Dad, and come hang out in the Discord. Keep the carpool rolling, and I'll catch you guys next ride.
Thanks for riding with the Carpool Dad Podcast. Now park the car and find a snack before the kids do. See you next ride.